Is Mexico going cashless? Well, what's happening there may affect you and your cash and how you spend it faster than you think. Most people don't realize this, especially Americans, that what's happening in Mexico is going to affect you. So let's talk about what's actually happening with cash in Mexico. We'll talk about why you should care, because if you're not in Mexico, why should you care about it? We're going to talk about how this actually does affect your money and what potentially you could do to control this issue on your end, because there's always a couple things that we can kind of do. So, all right, we're going to talk about what's happening. So, Mexico is not cashless. That being said, they are moving towards being cashless. And they're kind of doing something that a lot of countries are doing because, if it's cashless, it's trackable, which means, well, there's a couple benefits for the governments. So let's talk about this. Key points here. The bank and governments are expanding their digital payment systems. Right now, they're focusing on gas stations and toll booths. So they're also looking for new infrastructure to make it easier for more people to be able to have digital access. Okay, it sounds good on the surface, right? But restrictions are happening. So this is great. You can't freely use any cash for big purchases. It's restricted for real estate. It's capped on cars, jewelry, and high value goods. And any large payments are tracked and ID'd. So, they say this is intentional to fight crime, money laundering, increase tax collection, and bring more people into the banking system. Oh, isn't that sweet of them? I think people did just fine with cash and, they used to barter and everything was fine until we were tracked for everything. But this is the thing. So if it's trackable, it's controllable, and then they can turn things on and off at will. So it's control. And the fact that they're limiting it shows that they're trying to do this in a way that, like, look, you get used to this step and we'll move you into the next step. And gradually you won't think anything of it. It's just the way it is. And especially as you do it over time and then you get younger people into the system and they don't know any other way, they're going to think it's okay. Yeah. Okay, so what it means for you as an American. Well, if you go to Mexico, you're going to be limited in how much and where you can use cash. So be aware of that. And if you're sending any kind of digital currency, it's going to be tracked. So this is the thing, is that there's a lot of countries playing around with these things and one country learns from the other. So this is a preview of things that could be seen in the United States. So what you can actually do, let's make sure I don't miss anything here. Keep some liquidity across systems. You're not going to stay in one bank and you're not going to stay on one platform. If it's digital, whatever it is, have your money moved across. And that's for those people who have money, because I know there's a lot of you out there that yeah, I got 50 cents in the bank. I get it. It's fine. But, for those that have something, let's spread it across or else you might not be able to get it all. Understand how these payment restrictions could affect you, because just like in real estate, they are starting to track that more here. So you're going to have to learn how all of this functions. And then we're going to talk about digital payment tools that you may or may not be using. If you aren't using them, start getting more familiar with them so that if the system is thrown on you, that you have a better understanding and you don't make any mistakes. We don't want you to accidentally lose your money or something. Keep some emergency cash on hand if you can, while we still have some actual cash. And be aware of any kind of fees, limits, or tracking. So the goal here is not to panic. This isn't trying to panic you. We can only do what we can do. So we're going to have to work within the system unless you want to fight the system to make it not change. But they're pushing to make it change because, let's face it, they need the money. There's a lot of debt out there and they want it. So bottom line here, Mexico, again, is not banning cash. They're just restricting it, and it's slow and it's a moving thing. But let me know below in the comments. Do you think that the US is going to move towards this? Do you think that they are going to go cashless entirely? Drop the comment. We'll have a conversation about this. And until next time, remember, Think differently, take control, be a renegade, and I'll see you in the next video.